Greetings, fellow Frontier Explorers, Blue Frontier here, and today I wanted to do a quick guide on how to get S rank and all S ranks on the Kronos Island Battle Rush mode that came out with Sonic Frontiers' first DLC launch. For those of you that are unaware, if you own Sonic Frontiers, this DLC is absolutely free. You can go play it right now. It is very tough. Battle Rush is intense, guys. It takes your save file from a completed game and has you go back into the islands that you played before, but now you fight enemies in different phases and waves all the way up to the Titan, and once you beat the Titan, the timer ends, and that determines your rank. However, if you do not get an S rank, you cannot unlock other island challenges, and to get S rank, in my personal opinion, it's very tough. So, for Kronos Island, you have to get to Giganto and beat him in 5 minutes or less. That is the time that you're trying to get. And there's a few tips that I want to give you before we even jump into each phase and the strategy for each phase. The first thing is this is from a saved file, right? So you have to beat the main story in order to have this. That was something that I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video. So you want to use whatever file you have Sonic's most attacks and defense. I played on hard mode and used that file, so I am a higher level for this, so that's why it is a little bit easier. So that is something. It does scale, so that's a good thing to note. 2, the skill tree that you have from that campaign that you're using that file from, you can't unequip any abilities that might get in your way. This can be kind of annoying and tedious, so what I recommend is you turn off from the options the auto combo, because Sonic might do a combo that takes more time to come out and attack, and then it's just wasting that timer and really ruining your chances of getting an S rank. So I implore you to turn auto combo off. There's a specific move that Sonic does that you need to avoid. I'm playing on the PS5, so I'm not quite sure what the controls are like on other consoles, PC, whatever it may be. But the move where Sonic jumps in the air and then he has a bunch of spears around him in a circle and then shoots them out, that takes a long time. That's a long animation and a long attack. So you want to avoid this at all times. And this happens when Sonic is airborne. If you are airborne and press the boost button, then Sonic will do this very long animation where he's up in the air. These blue orbs will be around him, and then he shoots them off. This wastes time and will definitely affect your overall rank for the end because it's all time-based. So you want to avoid this at all costs, and that's very difficult because a lot of the time you're jumping around to Sonic and you're also boosting. So you just got to be really careful of this, and there's going to be a few instances where you're really going to have to work on avoiding this. But if you have auto combo on, he might just randomly do this attack, and that's not good. Along with the one where he jets around in different angles, it just takes too much time, and we don't need that for an S rank. The best example of the game kind of being bad with this is when you fight the ninja enemy. I believe it's the second phase. Sonic, for some reason, if you start off boosting before that animation is completely done, Sonic is, like, I guess, slightly airborne, so he will do that attack. So you actually want to wait until it's done loading in the enemy ninja, and then you see that Sonic's on the ground. Then you can boost in an attack. So you're going to have to wait on that one. And then another big one is the Asura fight. The Asura fight, you launch up in the air to get to him, but if you don't wait until you actually land on Asura's, I guess you want to call it head, the top of Asura, then Sonic will do that attack, and it might not even hit him. So that would be even worse. Not only are you wasting time, but you're not hitting the boss that you're trying to rush through. So those are the two instances where this affects the most. But once again, if you have auto combo on, it's just going to make life a whole lot more difficult for you. With that being said, I'm going to do a play-by-play, if you will, of what to do for each of these phases. I'm going to be talking really fast because we have to go fast. So if you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments. If you want to see more guides like this, I'd be more than happy to do that. Maybe even a slowed-down, in-depth version if people want to see it. But I'm not going to waste my time if people don't want to see it. So once again, that's going to be up to you guys. All right, let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to homing attack these enemies. We're going to make sure that we're focusing on each one so that way they get eliminated as quickly as possible and we don't have to track them down. We try to get under 8 seconds for that. Now we have the ninja. The ninja is interesting because we're going to do 2 hits, boost away, and then do this attack to finish it off. Under 15 seconds is ideal to stay on track. Then we want to be under 25 seconds for these guys. You just want to use the kicking attack, hold it down. It's extremely easy, not too difficult whatsoever. I kind of missed right there, but we still barely get under 25 seconds, but we're good to go. Now we have the shell enemies. You want to side loop around them and then do the holding attack. And what I mean by that is you hold down the attack button, he does a spin. Just like that, it eliminates them quickly. The shell doesn't come back down, so you don't have to do a second side loop. That's really important to get an S rank for this phase. This attack is the most efficient and most consistent. Alright, next we're moving on to the wheels. What you want to do is you want to boost over, side loop, and then just boost as fast as you can and make sure these loops of the side loop are tight, because otherwise they're going to boost off and you're going to lose their positioning and it's going to take a while. So we got that. Now we have Squid. Squid's very interesting because it's not as consistent, but you want to be under a minute or just at a minute when you start this fight. That's how you know you're on a good pace for an S rank for this battle rush. You want to keep boosting. I call it rapid boost. I don't know what the official term is called, but instead of holding down boost, you're just pressing the boost button repeatedly like this. You want to dodge his attacks and then go right in for the kill. He does wind up for an attack, so you do want to block like right there, and then you're good to go to unleash this finishing move, and you're good to go. Next we have this fight. You just have to be patient. Patient is the name of the game. You want to make sure that you have a good RNG window. Right here we did not, but that's okay. We're just going to wait for the electricity to stop and then go off the spring, and we want to wait until the electricity ends, and boom, we're done. The tower can be done very, very quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to boost over. We're going to repeatedly attack the bottom. We're going to use this attack. It's going to knock them all the way down, and we're just going to attack the head. Bada bing, bada boom. Very, very nice. You want to be under 2 minutes or at 2 minutes when you start the Asura fight. This fight is pretty much where the runs die, or at least the first part where the runs can die, because you have to be very precise on how you attack Asura. And what I mean by that is you're up in the air like this. You have to wait until you connect down at the bottom before you start attacking. Otherwise, Sonic's going to do a really long attack and it's just going to stall out time. Once you get hit, you want to block in the air like this so you stay in the air and you can boost right back to the head of Asura, and you want to keep doing that. You don't want to touch the ground. You want to make sure that you can boost back over to him like this. I believe, yeah, sometimes you might slip down, but it saves so much time. You don't have to wait for him to hit the ground. And you want to do these kicks, and you want to make sure you're actually facing these. I guess I want to say pillars. Otherwise, you're just going to be hitting a metal piece of the floor, and it's not going to do any damage. So that was actually pretty good. We didn't touch the ground. We didn't have to run up the arm after the first time, so that's a good S rank. And now here we are at Giganto. You want to be under 3 minutes before going against Giganto. Once again, you have to be under 5 minutes in order to get an S rank for this. This part is pretty tricky because as you're climbing up Giganto, you will be moved around in the air like this, and Sonic's controlling in the air is really, really bad. So you want to make sure you're facing Giganto and that you're not boosting too crazily in the air, because you might lose control and not be able to get up. I am getting hit here. This isn't perfect, but we are able to get to the head, so we are good to go. Now, a good thing to note is for these supersonic battles, they will give you 100 rings if you're at a very low ring percentage before the fight. We don't have to worry about that, though, because we still have enough rings from before. And this is basically the longest part of the fight, unfortunately. There's a lot of cutscenes you can't skip, and there's a lot of moves that you can't beat out for Giganto. You want to make sure you block all of his attacks. So blocking his attacks and counter-striking is the best way to do this, and then using this move again. This move is your bread and butter. And then here we go. We're going to block again. And we're going to reciprocate, and here we go. And this is basically the fight, but this fight itself takes about 2 minutes just because of all this non-skippable cutscenes and this move that's going to be coming up really soon where Giganto shoots his laser. See, we're still on a cutscene that we cannot skip. But at least we have awesome music to go along with it. All right, here we go. We're going in. We got to be ready for the attack, and here is his first laser. He fires 2 laser shots within this fight, and so this takes time. Like, you have to mash the square button. I'm playing on the PS5. You might be playing on a different system, but you got to mash whatever button prompt, and he's going to do it one more time. So that's already like 30 seconds right there that you have to account for trying to get down past this 5-minute time. It's pretty annoying, honestly. It's one big gripe that I have about these fights. And then here he goes. Here's the final one. And then we're going to have to get ready for him to try to swipe us. We're going to block it and then hit it back. We're very close to 5 minutes, as you can see. So it's not even like we had a lot of time. But this is the most efficient and strategic way to get an all S rank for the Kronos Island Battle Rush. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and learned something. Please let me know down in the comments what you think, how you're doing with the battle rushes on Blue Frontier, and that's it. That's the video. Yes!